Hey everyone, welcome to our year in review of the 2023 stock market. Now, reflecting on the gains, the nail-biting trends, and the wealth-building opportunities of 2023, I'm wondering if you're left wondering if you missed the boat. I don't want you to worry, because you're about to unlock the gateway to a year in review that not only exposes the triumphs, but we're going to provide a roadmap for the untapped potential in 2024. If the regret of missed opportunities and the fear of being left behind have been constant companions, you are not alone. But here's the kicker. Today, you are on the brink of a revelation that could change your trading history. Think about this. A strategy that not only decodes the success stories of years past, 2023, but it will also chart a course for your financial triumphs in the upcoming year. So we're not just reminiscing. We are unleashing the blueprint for 2024 prosperity. So if you're tired of watching from the sidelines and ready to seize control of your trading destiny, I need you to hit that subscribe button, because this is not just a review. It's a forecast, a revelation, a game changer for your 2024 trading journey. This is the strategy that will reshape your trading narrative, and it's about to unfold right now. So, we have gone through plenty of plays throughout the year, including the beginning of the year. We're going to go through those setups that I gave you. There's about 20 of them. And we're going to show you, if you would have followed them, how they would have resulted in you having a winning position. Okay? So first off, we are starting with AMC. And I know this is I'm never going to tell people to trade AMC on a daily basis, because it's... we all know that you should know the story, the background of AMC. If you don't, you need to look into it. But starting off the year last year, this was the final close, December 31st of last year's candle, 2022. When 2023 opened, what we talked about was we have a 3-1 setup, outside bar, inside bar. They don't happen very often. They're super rare. They're super powerful. And realistically, we're talking about the inside bars. So the inside bars is a consolidating candle. It's a tightening range, and we look for explosions off of those yellow candles. And you get this yellow candle through my indicator. That link is in the description below. But we look for the breaks of these inside bars to the higher low, and that is our trigger. So as soon as AMC triggered to this downside, we say to ourselves, hey, this is a fantastic opportunity, great probability for us to jump into this play. And then all we have to do is mark our targets. And I'm just going to put those in green for us today, as I normally do. We mark our target, and AMC hit that target this year. This was your first winning play of the year. Now, we can say we're 1-0 on these setups. Now, this wouldn't have been a top priority for me, just given what AMC is, but the setup was still there. If we go on to Activision. So Activision, we had the same idea. We had that inside bar. Now, it wasn't preceded by an outside bar. Doesn't matter. We're still dealing with that inside bar, but we looked at that same thing. We said, if it breaks to the high side or if it breaks to the low side, we're going to look for this to run up. And no, you might say, well, it didn't hit targets. No, it didn't. But this, from 86.90 to 94.42, if we look on a yearly basis, on your right-hand side, actually it's not, where is it here? 1 year return, 24% on a 1 year return following this strategy, guys, okay? Following this strategy. If you would have shorted AMC, if we go back and look real quick, if you shorted AMC, 1 year short, 82%. Okay, I'm not asking you to short shares. I would never ask you to do that. But if you're looking for option setups to short, 82% in a 1 year term on Activision. We look at CVS, and we'll do the same thing. We'll go look at through these setups and see how they would have performed. And again, we're not going to get the true value of what the total percentage was, but you'll get a pretty good idea. So again, with CVS, we talked about it. We had a 2 up that finished red. So these two if you guys don't know what this strategy is, go check out my channel. I've got a ton of learning tools. Over I don't even know what it is anymore. 300 or 400 videos for you guys to learn this strategy off of. There are playlists set up for specific learning tools for you guys to learn this strategy. And if you want a more in-depth look, I do have a 1-hour course that I provide. So this is a 2 candle. We can only have a 1 candle or 2 candle or a 3 candle. We've already gone through the 1 candles. Those are a consolidating candle. They don't break the high or the low. Now we look at the 2 candle. So the 2 candle can only break the high or the low of the previous candle. It's what we call a directional candle. So in 2022, CVS broke to the high side here, and then we trended back down. The sellers took this back. So we looked at this as a 2 up that finished red. We were looking for what's called a 2-2 reversal, 2 up, 2 down reversal. And that's exactly what we got. We marked our triggers, and you can mark your targets. And it did exactly what it said it was going to do. It said if we trigger right here, we are very likely to hit these targets. That's 86.28 to the target of 68.02 actually. And if we trend down, we can look, and it's not going to give you the true value of what the year to date was, but it finished year to date or on a 1-year basis at minus 15.29%. It came up 12% in the last 3 months, 14% in the last month. So if you would have sold at targets, you would have been at over 30% just on common shares. And again, I'm not asking you to short common shares, but when you're looking at shorting options or taking put options, this would have been a fantastic play for you guys, a fantastic setup. And that's all we're really looking for on this stuff. And it did exactly what it said it was going to do. So from that point, you can say, yes, out of the first 3 setups, you were 3-0, 3 successful setups. Let's go look at the next one. Ford Motor Company had that 2 up that finished red in 22 and 23. We trended down and it reversed on us, okay? Didn't work. It just didn't work. And that's the probability. They're not always going to work. So at this point, we look at it and we're 3-1. GME, another one I wouldn't really tell you guys to trade, but we can look at it anyways because we had that inside bar. It broke down and reversed back up. So again, now we're 3-2. 3 wins, 2 losses. I don't want to say this one didn't work out because we had some gains there where we could have taken it from 1698 all the way down to 1191. Really, really good setup there. Enough to take profit on anyways. But again, GME, AMC, not something that I would really want to give you guys to trade on. So at that point, okay, we can say we are what? 1, 2, 3-2, we'll call it. So we go to GS. So GS, and this, guys, inside bar, didn't break the high, didn't break the low. We have a double inside bar. So I'll give you a preview to 2024 because Goldman Sachs had a double inside bar on the year. Highly, highly improbable setup. They happen very, very rarely. Here was the last one, and look at the run we went on. 127.94, and we closed at 97. What did we close at? 91.43. So I guess from our trigger to 129 all the way to the close at $90, okay? It's like a just under $40 move on a $140 stock. It's a crazy, crazy move. Again, you're putting put options on something like this, you are making very, very good money on the year. So look, we go to the double inside bar, super rare pattern, okay? So all we're doing, and we'll talk about this right now, if it doesn't trigger either side here, we don't take the play. But coming into 2024, and I'll move these down for you guys right now, this is all we're doing. We're moving these triggers to here. Let's get rid of these so we're not confused by anything. That's all we're looking for. We're looking to break trigger high, trigger low. And that's the setup that we're looking for on Goldman Sachs. So again, I'm not going to count this one because it didn't trigger, so we're still sitting at 3-2. We go to Home Depot. Again, Home Depot setting up with that double inside bar. Super rare pattern. Do we go back and see if there was one previously? My guess is probably not. Oh, and there is one, okay? So again, we trended up a little bit and then came back down. But off of that double inside bar. Look at Home Depot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you would have bought common shares on Home Depot and held them over the last 5 years based off of this double inside bar back in 1994. Okay, so over 5 years, we went from $10 all the way up to 68. Okay, 600% in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Over 100% a year. 120% a year is what we're looking at off of Home Depot. So again, we're running into that double inside bar. We'll see if the same thing happens in 2024. Keurig Dr. Pepper. Okay, so this one, again, we had our 2 up. Let me get rid of these lines. We had our 2 up and it finished red. Okay, that's telling me sellers brought it back. We were looking for that trigger point. We hit that trigger point at 33.35, and we went down and hit targets here and multiple, not multiple targets, but we moved way more than the target allowed us. Okay, so 30.36 ended up, the low point was at 27.65. So you should have, if you entered in on this on put options, you should have taken profit here at 30.31 off of this. Okay, so this puts our record, or what I've given you to you guys last year, to 4 wins and 2 losses. And a really, really good win, guys, at 33.35 all the way down to at least $30. It's at least a 10% move on this. Okay, in common shares. We're not even talking about options, just common shares. Imagine the magnitude that an option play would have on this. We look at Lowe's. Okay, Lowe's, just like Home Depot, setting up with a double inside bar. A ton of consolidation on these plays. And again, if we go back, look in time, see if there was a double inside bar previously on Lowe's, nothing. So this is the first time in history that Lowe's has a double inside bar on the yearly. So again, this will be on the 2024 yearly video that will be coming out. That's what we're going to look for, a break to the high here or break to the low. We look at LTHM. Again, another setup where we were looking to break. We had this 2 up. Whoops, what did I do there? There we go. We had this 2 up that finished red. We were looking for it to trigger down. The sellers brought it back, and that's exactly what happened. We triggered to the downside at 19.35, and we hit first targets at 14.60. Again, it did its job. One more play, 5 and 2 now, where you guys would have had successful setups on this. And again, we're looking to the downside. These would have had to be put options. I'm not asking you to short stocks. We look into Macy's. Another one off of that inside bar, off of Macy's. We triggered 15.10, and I'll just put in this target for visual aid, but we hit the target at 11.07. Did exactly what it said it was going to do. You should have taken profit there. If you took this trade, it goes to 6 and 2. Moderna. Here's another one on Moderna. If we zoom in, Moderna had that inside bar. We triggered at 115.03. We hit first targets plus. Okay, move down even further. And if we go look at the 1-year return, the 1-year return on that, and again, it's not going to be true to minus 43% because we opened up way here, way up high. But 114 to, what do we have, $100. So we're looking at, 15, 20% move in common shares. From Moderna, we go to Morgan Stanley. So Morgan Stanley, here's one that didn't work out. And again, it's probability, guys. So I think we're 6 and 3, we're 7 and 3, whatever we are. But we triggered originally off of this 2022 candle to the downside, and we came back up. So again, what we're looking for in 2023, we move that orange line up there. We had a 2 down that finished green. The buyers brought it back. What is going to happen with it? Okay, that's 2024 stuff. We go to Microsoft. Inside bar on Microsoft. Again, beautiful trigger. Target hit. Do we hit any other targets further back? I think Microsoft might be at all-time highs. It is. So we triggered, we hit targets, and we continued to run, okay? So another fantastic trade. So we're going to call this 8 and 3. And again, if we look at where we triggered at 338 all the way up to 376, so a $40 move on this, guys. $40, a $40 move on Microsoft, even if you would have bought common shares. A really, really good option, a really good trade for you guys. We look to Oracle. That puts us to 9 and 3 off of this inside bar. We triggered and we targeted. Okay, now again, this isn't going to be true too because we're not taking these rates at trigger point. We're taking it from open of the yearly bar, which would have been from here 83 to 105. But again, we're still looking at a 30% move on Oracle if you would have taken it as common shares. Hey, we go to Pfizer. Look at this Pfizer move. We talked about Pfizer a lot. I know a lot of people talked about Pfizer and this big move Pfizer was going to have. Again, inside bar, we said if it triggers high, we take it. If it triggers low, we take it. And it triggered at 41.45, bottom of that inside bar. We hit one target and we just kept on going. So 41 to 28.79. If we're looking at this on a yearly basis, 43% total. So again, we're probably looking at a 30% move in common shares. Think about that as an option play, guys. Think about a 30% move on an option play on common shares and converting that to an option play. This is a multi-bagger, okay? A multi-bagger. And there were a ton of these, okay? I think this puts us, I think we're at 10 and 3 now. This one stayed inside bar. So again, when we look at it, this is all we're doing. And that's our new setup for 2024. Okay, here's one that didn't work out. So we go to 9 and 4. We triggered down. We had the 2 up that finished red. We triggered down and we reversed up. So this year, 2024, that's where our setup's going to be. Top of that candle, we're looking for Wells Fargo to continue to trend up. XLU. We triggered, and what do you know? We hit targets, 11 and 5. Now, this wasn't a huge move. 62.50 to 60.35 and a little bit more. You should have taken profits here if you didn't, but that puts us to 11 and 4 on XLU. XLV stayed inside bar, so we stay there. We move on to CRM. Again, CRM barely broke that, but we were still in a winning position here, okay? So we're 12 and 4 on these plays. And then Apple, here's the one that didn't quite fan out for us. This is the only one that went outside bar. So this is one candlestick we haven't talked about. We went 2 down, and then we trended all the way back up. So now what you could have done is if you broke the 50% mark, this is the Sarah Strat sniper rule, if you broke the 50% mark of this candle right here, we can look. And if it's early enough in the year, I said, if we're doing this in November, December, I'm not looking for Apple to go outside bar. But if this hit outside bar, let's see when we hit 154.55. Will give us a clear indication. 154.55. Whoops, too far back. Too far back. So within January, February, or March, so if we break it down into the 1 month, 154.55 in March, okay? So we were headed up past that 50% mark in March. This is a trade you could have taken on Apple and been really, really successful because we ended up hitting here and going outside bar. You would have taken your profit on this in July, okay? That's the power of this. And we talk about that 50% rule in the course and in my other videos. So this strategy is very, very simple. It's probably the easiest strategy that you guys will come across. It's very organic. We don't use a lot of lines. We use basically triggers and targets and what the candlesticks are telling us to do, and that's it. It's very, very simple. It's very, very focused, easy to use, even for the most beginning trader. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out the 2024. I'm doing a year setup for the 2024. I do weekly swing plays every week. I do daily watch lists every day. I have a Discord where you get a 1-hour strat course. You get live trading bots. You get this indicator for free. That can be checked out in my Discord, which is free to join, guys. Join the Discord for free. There is a paid portion. It is the cheapest Discord you will find around, and there's a lot of value involved with it. So thank you guys for watching. Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a great 2023 and even a better 2024, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.